Alright, so I'm back with yet another Pauper deck tech. So this is quite a spicy list that I've been having a lot of fun with, and it's been way stronger than I thought. Not to say that it's great, but it kind of was meant to just be a meme, but I've actually been winning some matches with it. So it clearly has more potential than I even thought. But essentially, this is a combo deck inspired by the Worthy Cause combo deck in pre-modern. So the crux of the deck is the combo between these creatures, Nomads Encore and Daru Spiritualist. So Nomads Encore is 1 white for a 1/1, and it has an activated ability which says pay 0. The next 1 damage that would be dealt to Nomads Encore is dealt to another target creature you control instead. So what's crucial about that is that it's a 0 mana activated ability. So it's an activated ability that we can activate infinite times, okay, which is a very rare, effect in Pauper. Now, the synergy is with cards like Daru Spiritualist. So this is 2 mana for a 1/1. It's a Cleric, and it says whenever a Cleric you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. So we can activate the Nomad's ability infinite times, targeting the Daru Spiritualist infinite times, and therefore giving it infinite toughness. And what's cool about this combo is that there are other cards that functionally do the same thing, like Spirit Encore has the same effect as the Nomad. It's just 4 mana for a 2/2 with flying. And then Task Force is similar to the Spiritualist. It's 3 for a 1/3. Whenever Task Force becomes the target of a spell or ability, it gets +0/+3 until end of turn. So this just means that we have a lot of redundancy with our combo. We are running 8 copies of each combo piece, drastically increasing the odds that we will draw it. So now the question becomes, okay, you've got your combo, you've got these 2 creatures, you now have a creature with infinite toughness. From there, how do you win the game? So there are things you could use, like About Face, to switch a creature's power and toughness and attack for infinite damage. The same would apply with Treefolk Umbra, which says enchanted creature assigns combat damage according to its toughness rather than its power. So with this list, the winning effect, or the payoff for having a creature with infinite toughness, is Sheltering Word. So it's 2 mana for an instant. It says target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. You gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So with this, we gain infinite life, and then from there, we essentially wait for our opponent to deck themselves. I mean, once we have 2 billion life or whatever, we're not going to be killed through damage. We just wait for them to deck themselves, and then our means of protecting ourselves from decking ourselves is the singleton copy of Campfire we have. So Campfire is 1 mana for an artifact. It has pay 1, tap, you gain 2 life, which is actually kind of useful. And then it also has pay 2, tap, exile it, shuffle your graveyard into your library. So this just, it's there purely to stop us from decking ourselves. And then the rest of the deck is essentially just mana ramp, card draw, and Benevolent Bodyguard to protect our combo pieces. So it's 1 white for a 1/1. It says sacrifice it. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Then we also have 2 copies of Predator's Rapport, which again, it's essentially like running more copies of Sheltering Word. It's yet another payoff for having a creature with extremely high toughness. So it's 3 mana for an instant. It says choose target creature you control. You gain life equal to that creature's power plus its toughness. So, and also one thing that's worth mentioning about the Sheltering Word is that it's pretty cool that it gives the creature hexproof. So we can also just use this to keep our creatures alive if it's necessary. Then for ramp, we have 2 copies of Avacyn's Pilgrim, 1 green for a 1/1, tap, add white. And then also 2 copies of Llanowar Elves. And we have 23 lands currently, nothing too crazy going on with them. Then finally in the main board, in order to draw our combo pieces faster, we have 3 copies of Commune with Nature, I'm not exactly sure about the numbers of these cards. It's possible that we need more card draw, more digging effects, but at the moment I'm just running 6 essentially, 6 slots dedicated to that. So 3 of them are Commune with Nature, 1 green for a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. And then also this sick card from the Lord of the Rings set, Elven Farsight. 1 green for a sorcery, scry 3. Then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, draw a card. So I found this to be really great. What's nice about this compared to the Commune with Nature is that this also can help us dig for the instants that we need to win the game, our payoffs. Right, so that's the entire main board covered. So one thing about this deck which was surprising to me is that there have been some games where I've won even without being able to pull off the payoff. I haven't gained infinite life. I haven't been able to successfully cast either Sheltering Word or Predator's Rapport, but I still won the game. Why? Because I chipped through with just repeated damage, and I was able to stay alive because just simply the combo of Nomads Encore plus the Spiritualist and or Spirit Encore and Task Force just created such a great defensive line against my opponent's creatures. Because let's say you have 1 Nomad and 1 Daru Spiritualist. This means you essentially have 2 indestructible blockers, because the Daru Spiritualist has infinite toughness, so it's not going to be killed by combat damage, and the Nomad is redirecting all of its damage to the infinitely tough Daru Spiritualist, so it's not going to be killed by combat damage either. So it kind of creates such a kind of a lock to non-flying combat damage. So this one game, I would just block my opponent's creatures with these 2 cards, and then every turn I was just chipping in with 2 flying damage off the Spirit Encore, and I was able to just win purely through combat damage. So now that's not ideal, but I just mention it because it was surprisingly effective to me. Just having these 2 creatures as blockers was just quite strong against quite a lot of decks. Right, so that brings us to the sideboard. So it's pretty rough. We've got 4 Relics of Progenitus for graveyard decks, some Tamio Safekeeping just to have more defensive spells. This could also be Standard Bearer. And then we have 3 copies of Crimson Acolyte, 2 for a 1/1, protection from red. Pay 1 white, target creature gains protection from red until end of turn. Now this is also, and then also, okay, we have Obsidian Acolyte, the same thing but for black. So this is to defend against burn spells and removal spells. But what's cool about these as well is that they are clerics, and Daru Spiritualist triggers whenever any cleric you control becomes the target of a spell or ability. So it just means that, we have a bit of synergy beyond the main combo just with these cards. And again, one thing I'll mention as well with this is that the Task Force and the Spiritualist are inherently resistant to burn spells, because obviously this one gets pumped by 2 toughness whenever your opponent targets it with a burn spell, and the Task Force gets pumped by a full 3, and its starting toughness is 3 already. So Galvanic Blast doesn't kill this, Lightning Bolt doesn't kill this. It's just, so the deck is inherently resistant to burn. Same with Nomads Encore. If they target this with a burn spell, you can just redirect the damage to some other creature you have. So the deck is inherently resistant to removal via burn, which is very, very cool about it. But anyway, that's the deck. I really enjoy it. I will test it more. I haven't played with it in a few days now because I've been working on other lists as well. But I thought I would show it because I do find it quite fun and spicy. So if you have ideas for it, please let me know in the comments. As always, if you have ideas for deck lists I should try, or combos I should try, or cards I should use, please let me know as well. So I'll end it there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.